It's a beautiful day for baseball in the Charm City. So let's play two. In game one, right-hander Chris Archer goes to the hill, looking to put a stop to the Rays' four-game slide. We welcome you to Baltimore, Maryland. We're just steps away from the Inner Harbor, Oriole Park at Camden Yards. This the first game of a traditional doubleheader, game two of this four-game series. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball. Two games in store for you with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to have you along. Well, the Rays dropped the first game last night, still trying to find the winning side of the ledger, dropping at 9-4 in 6 of those runs provided by the shortstop here. This guy, Manny Machado, in his walk year, is off and running.
I mean, have a night. And he got it done for the Baltimore Orioles last night. He got it started early, basically started and finished this game via the home run. Bottom of the first inning, he gets a slider here, middle of the plate, little down, shoots it out into left center field. That would give the Baltimore Orioles a 2-0 lead, a lead they would not relinquish. And then late, he gets a slider, and this was the big one. This was the grand slam that gave the Orioles an 8-1 lead, effectively ending the game. And how about the fact that was his fourth multi-home run game of 2018 already, and we're not even to the middle of May. Now, on the other side, trying to slow him and this resurgent Oriole offense down is going to be right-hander Chris Archer. Last time out against the Blue Jays, 7 strong innings, 1 earned run, didn't walk anybody. That helps. First time, by the way, that he had completed 7 innings all season long, and you hope that that gets him on a roll, as Oriole Park at Camden Yards has not been kind to him.
Yeah, you can see in 8 starts this year, Archer 2-2 overall with a 5.32 ERA, and he will be opposed by right-hander David Hess, coming up to make his major league debut at the age of 24 in the first game of this doubleheader. And you're right about Archer here at Camden Yards. He is 2-5 in his career with an earned run mark of 6.70, hoping to turn that one right around here against the Orioles today. Game 2 of this 4-game series, the Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. Through the first 3, the Rays have taken 2 of those 3, dropping the game last night. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Rays today, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Denard Span will lead off. He'll be followed by C.J. Cron, the DH. Joey Wendell will hit third and play second base. Matt Duffy at third, hitting cleanup in front of Brad Miller, and then Adeiny Echeverria. Bottom 3 in the Rays lineup. Malik Smith in center field, Carlos Gomez in right. Jesus Sucre will do the catching and bat ninth.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Baltimore Orioles is going to be right-hander David Hess, making his major league debut. He was drafted in the 5th round in the 2014 draft out of Tennessee Tech and has worked his way here to the big leagues. And he'll make that debut here in just a couple of minutes. And he features a 4-pitch mix, and they're your traditional 4. He's got a fastball. It's going to sit into the low 90s, a slider, curveball, and changeup. Nothing overpowering, nothing that flashy, but every pitch is pretty good. And the key for him, much like most of these guys out there, especially the youngsters coming up, is command. When he has command, he can be very effective. If not, the pitches become very hittable.
Well, he was at Norfolk at the AAA level, 2-0 there in 6 starts with a 2.12 earned run average, holding the opposition to just a 189 average. And he's coming off an outing against the Rays AAA team, the Durham Bulls, and he held them to just 1 hit in 7 innings in that game.
I guess that would be the springboard for a call up to the big leagues.
And we'll see how it all works out here this afternoon as Denard Span steps in to get it started. First pitch of this game, and that's going to be a little low. So we are underway. 79 degrees here. A bit of strike on the outside corner, says Jerry Davis. Davis, the crew chief of this umpiring quartet. And a high fly ball toward the left field line for Mancini, now in foul ground, and he makes the grab. That's the way this one starts.
Well, let's go ahead and set the Baltimore defense for you. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, of course, Trey Mancini, and then Adam Jones and Anthony Santander. Across that infield third to first, we've got Jace Peterson, Manny Machado, Jonathan Scope, and Chris Davis, with Chance Sisco behind the plate.
Now C.J. Cron to face Hess. Pitch is a ball off the plate end. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, as we mentioned, an accomplished umpire. He has umpired a number of World Series. Now 1-1. And he will be generous with the strike zone. 1-2.
And that's what the Rays hitters are going to be looking at here this first time through. You know, no one has seen David Hess. You get your reports, and those are helpful without a doubt. But at the same time, until you see that ball come out of his hand, it's just not the same. So you're going to be looking for mistakes out over the plate to try to capitalize, all the while honing in on what David Hess features, what the release point is, how you're picking the ball up. And there'll be a lot of communication in that dugout after every at-bat.
Ground ball, that's headed up the middle and into center field. Cron is aboard. Well, the Rays got a base runner here in the first.
Now that middle of the field was wide open for C.J. Cron, and was not a bad pitch at all by Hess. 95 down and away. Right off the end of the bat, there's just nobody home.
Here's Joey Wendell. Pitch upstairs. Wendell snapped an 0 for 19 last night. had 2 hits, 2 for 5. It's inside 2-0. One of those nights for Wendell where you go 2 for 5 and you're not happy, because down the middle of his at bats he had some opportunities to pick up some runs batted in, and struck out once and hit to a double play one time, grounded out to second the other. Ground ball, that's headed through the middle and a base hit. Crone stops at second, so Wendell is aboard. Quickly a threat here for the Rays. 2 men on, 1 out for Matt Duffy.
Well, already proven here early in this ball game, Dwayne, that the Rays lineup is better than the Durham Bulls lineup, as they pop their second hit off of them. First 3 hitters.
It's good to get that out of the way as quickly as possible.
Yes. You don't want any comparisons lurking into the deeper part of this game.
Well, Matt Duffy hitting .302 overall, a little over .350 against right-handed pitching. So a chance early for the Rays to strike, and there's a shot deep into left center field. That ball is gone into the bullpen. Home run for Matt Duffy, and the Rays do strike early. That home run makes it 3-0. Duffy's second home run of the year, and after last night's frustration, the Rays off to a quick start today.
Well, and what Matt Duffy did, Dwayne, was he watched every one of these hitters get first pitch fastballs. And so he just sat on it. And what did we say? You're looking for a mistake out over the plate. He looks heater. He gets one right down the middle, puts a charge into it, and immediately gets the Rays that quick early lead and the 3-run blast. So those are nice.
Brad Miller shoots one through the left side. Make the turn and hang on.
And you may want to come with something different here on the first pitch, because the Rays have already honed in looking for first pitch fastballs and now capitalizing.
Well, the home run by Matt Duffy, his second, as we mentioned. His first home run was up at Fenway Park on the 5th of April. That one out to center field off Carson Smith. This one off Hess. So Miller is aboard for Adeiny Echeverria. Out in front a little bit. He fouls this one back. Strike one. Hot shot down to third, backhanded. Peterson out to second and over to first, safe there. A stretch by Scope to take the throw at second from Peterson. And Echeverria reaches on a fielder's choice. Miller forced out at second base.
Boy, a couple of nice defensive plays there by the Orioles. First of all, Jace Peterson, this ball smoked. A nice backhand, and then how about Scope coming across? Does he keep his foot on as he's reaching for that throw that's wide? And that's what everybody's taking a look at right now. He's coming across second base, and Echeverria is, hustle, try to break that thing up. He gets there in time, but it's coming across the bag. A nice job by Jonathan Scope to be able to glove that ball while keeping his foot on second base.
So now Malik Smith. Strike one. Kevin Cash thought for a moment that was worth looking at second and had the video guys check it. Decided not to challenge. Pitch a little wide.
Well, this is what they were taking a look at. That throw sails a little bit, and you can see Scopes kind of have to readjust with the glove, but keeps the foot on the bag. That's well done.
Took advantage of his size out there as a second baseman to be able to make that play. Wow, right back. 1-2 now on Malik Smith. And The Orioles really missed that guy right there. Not only at second base, but his offense. Scope back 4 games off the disabled list. That's a cut and a miss. Smith out on strikes. So the Rays are finished in the first, but they come up with 3 on one swing of the bat by Matt Duffy. We go to the bottom of the first. Rays 3, Baltimore coming into bat. Lead moving into the bottom of the first. Baltimore lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Same as last night. Mancini, Jones, and Machado. Scope hits cleanup, followed by Davis and Trumbo. Chance Cisco catches. Santander in right. Jace Peterson hits 9th. He is at 3rd. And here's Trey Mancini leading off against Chris Archer. First pitch is in there for a strike.
And what the Rays need from Chris Archer more than anything else, a shutdown inning. You know, you're handed that 3-run lead. It's going to be a long day of baseball, and now's the time to set the tone.
Upstairs, 1-1. And you have to believe there is something to that. You know, you score 3 in the first, have your guy go out and immediately shut down the opposition. You've got the chance to get things rolling. Echeverria takes care of that ground ball. Mancini leads off, out 6-3.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense this afternoon, brought to you by our good friends at Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we've got Span, Smith, and Gomez. And across that infield, 3rd to 1st, Duffy, Echeverria, Wendell, and Miller. Jesus Sucre gets the call behind the plate. Good for him. I mean, he's got to be like, hey, Wilson, would you just calm down a minute, because I'd like to play. But you've been so hot that Cash is not going to take you out of the lineup.
Yeah, the only way you could get Sucre in on that homestand was to put both catchers in, one of them DH and let the other one catch. But then you expose yourself to a complication if somebody's injured.
Yeah, that makes your catcher slash former catcher slash manager very nervous.
Yes.
Not going to do that very often.
He might be pressed into service himself. 1 strike to count on Adam Jones. Into center field. Alex Smith is there to make the catch on that one. Just for the record, when that occurred, there was some talk about if they needed it, Daniel Robertson might be able to go in behind the plate. He's starting to play everywhere.
Listen, I would love to see that. I would love to see that happen by virtue that he can play all the infield positions if need be. You can put him into the outfield. We've seen him pitch.
Yeah.
Now he catches. You could clear out all 9 of them.
He's like Bugs Bunny.
Yes, the Gas House Gorillas.
That's it. playing every position.
Took him down. Had
Yes,
a great changeup. Danny Robinson had a pretty good one too.
Here's Manny Machado. Well, boy, they need somebody to pitch to this guy. Machado off to an unbelievable start, leading the league in hitting at .354. Tops and runs batted in now, 35, and a high pop on the infield. Archer's going to get out of the way, and over from third comes Duffy. So it is a 1-2-3 inning, and that's exactly what the Rays were looking for. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Carlos Gomez set to lead off the second inning. He takes the ball. Gomez off to a slow start this year, but recently things have come together for him a little bit. Pitch is down 2-0. Since the start of May, he's 9 of 28. That factors out to a .321 mark. Pops it up, foul, and carrying toward the stands. 2-1. Rays facing David Hess, making his major league debut, 24 years old. High fly ball toward left center. Jones is there right in front of the track to make the catch.
I know it's early, and we've seen David Hess for 4 outs now, but when you look at his stuff, we've seen the fastball 93 to 95. The command has to be very good with that pitch, but the secondary pitches between the slider and the breaking ball, more roll to them than that sharp late break. Even that slider right there to Gomez. Gomez sees that again, it's probably going to be a home run. Kind of just hung in there. It's rolling as opposed to being very sharp. Same thing with the curveball. Haven't seen much of the changeup, but that's why he's got to be so fine with his command and control.
This pitch fastball is a strike to Sucre. This one away. 1-1.
And you wonder if that continues. Do you then try to hone him down and make him a guy that throws one or the other, or where the curveball and the slider don't play off each other?
Fly ball into center. That will be caught by Jones. I think there'd been some talk of that in the Baltimore organization. Although you have a guy with a good arm and you give him every chance to become a starter and eat up quality innings if he can give those to you. And if not, then that move where you limit the number of pitches and the variety of pitches that he may throw.
Yeah, off the top of your head, you're thinking, okay, you're 93, 95. Give me the slider 81 to 83, 84 maybe, and then really develop a changeup. There was a good curveball there, but you could see that that pitch is going to be something he uses in a situation like this. First pitch of an at-bat to try to get strike one.
As it turned out, that one dropped low for a ball, and now it's 2-0. 2 outs, bases empty. Fouling the 2-0 fastball, 2-1. This ball picks up the zone, 2-2.
The meaty part of the zone. I don't want too many of those fastballs there.
Ooh, look out. That's into the Baltimore dugout.
Look out.
Look out there.
Nice play. Let it get into his body, but obviously wasn't expecting it either.
And a cut and a miss. So Span is out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the second, 3-0.
Well, given that there are 2 games in one day, you would think that there would be a different vibe in the clubhouse today, but everything was business as usual. And I was talking with a couple of the players, and they said it's definitely easiest to take it 1 game at a time, not worrying about the second game until it comes. And something interesting that Kevin Cash said was that the way he's approaching it is putting all of his eggs in one basket to win the first game, and then you go from there into the second game. Guys, is that how you approach the broadcast? Just make it the best broadcast for game 1 and then hopefully strong to left for game 2?
Well, Jonathan Scope has just unloaded on the first pitch here in the bottom of the second, and that has taken precedent here of this moment to make it a 3-1 game, his second home run of the year. We mentioned at the outset they've missed his work at second, but also that bat in the lineup. He's back, and that's a big addition to the Baltimore lineup.
Boy, it's a towering blast and a badly missed location. A fastball supposed to be down and away, ends up and in. And boy, Scope gets that airborne, and look at the carry right down the line.
Chris Davis takes a strike.
You know, in answering Michelle's question, I'm kind of looking at it not like Kevin Cash. I'm looking at it as all day of frivolity.
Yeah. Archer headed to first, and now unassisted Miller takes care of that. Why not? It's a doubleheader.
You're right.
2 for the price of 1.
We're here
Twice the fun.
Right, and we're doing it the right way. You know, this isn't 1 and sit around and waste time in 7.
Yeah.
We're gonna snap it on at 3 o'clock, and we're gonna roll right through.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is. And I think that you and I, we go into a broadcast. Every broadcast we go into, the idea is unicorn. Always searching for the unicorn.
Yep.
Now we don't get it. Never have gotten it.
Try to save it.
How late before it perishes?
So far, so good.
It's early.
Yeah, don't want to push it. 1 strike here to Mark Trumbo. A run home on the home run by Jonathan Scope. That's lined into center for a base hit. And Trumbo is aboard. Well, you talk about 2 bats that were out of this lineup, Scope and Trumbo. Now they're back, and that's one of the reasons the Orioles have won 3 in a row for the first time this year.
And you know what? And swinging the bats, scoring some runs. How about that base hit to Trumbo? You know, kind of up the middle, even the other way. They're starting to hit the ball around the ballpark a little bit, using the whole field. Still getting their home runs. I mean, obviously, Scope's already hit 1. They hit 4 last night against the Rays.
Archer touched for the Scope home run, the 7th home run Archer has given up this year. And the 4th he's given up to Scope. Scope has 11 career hits against him in 28 at bats now, and 4 of those have been home runs. 0-1 to count on Cisco, Baltimore catcher. Fly ball toward left center. Malik Smith back, and that ball's off the wall, bounding back onto the playing field. Trumbo's being waved to the plate. He will score on a double by Cisco, and the Orioles come rumbling back.
And what they're doing, Dwayne, is continuing a disturbing trend. When you look at Chris Archer's season, the most hits, runs, earned runs, most walks that he's given up, been in the 2nd inning. And here, the Orioles jumping all over him. Well, that slider just hung middle of the plate, and we already know that Cisco's got power the other way. Malik Smith not able to get there, and that ball an inch or 2 from this game being tied.
Well, Kyle Snyder's going to head to the mound here with Archer in jeopardy of giving up the lead. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-2 with a man in scoring position. Now time for the Lowe's whole team together, and the Orioles offense is certainly coming together. The last 4 games, they're averaging 8 runs a game, hitting .331. They scored 9 runs last night. And the average with men in scoring position, .429. Machado last night, a 1-man wrecking crew, 2 homers, including a grand slam. 1 out, a man at second. Here's Santander. Anthony Santander, switch hitting outfielder. A ball, no strikes. Upstairs, 2-0. Well, Archer coming off an outing in Detroit in which he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. And the last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays, he gave up a run in 7 innings. Now 2-1 to count. Now, the last 2 have been pretty good outings. He lost that game in Detroit against Baltimore. In his last outing in April, he won but gave up 4 runs in 5 1/3 And this has not been a kind ballpark for him in 7 starts, 2 and 5 in his career at Camden Yards. Two and 2 now on Santander. The number 8 hitter, Josh Peterson, is on deck.
The Rays with the shift, and Chris Archer with a ton of off speed here so far to Santander.
Fly ball into right. It's Gomez to make the catch. Tag at second. Cisco heads to third, and he will make it. 2 outs now with a runner at third base. Jace Peterson will be the hitter. Peterson 0 for 2 with a walk in the game last night. He scored a run when he walked in the 7th inning. He scored on the Machado grand slam. The 9th hitter in Buck Showalter's lineup. His pitch is down.
Since the meeting with Kyle Snyder, it has been nothing but changeups and sliders to Santander, and now first pitch here to Peterson.
Two and nothing.
Maybe trying to get this Oriole lineup off of the hard stuff. You know, for the most part, it's going to be fastball slider. Against the lefties, you will see a few more changeups, but he's going with a number of them here, the last 2 hitters. Kyle Snyder keeping a close eye on his staff right now on Chris Archer.
And a strike 2 and 1. And in any case, with a doubleheader, you're certainly looking for innings out of your first game starter.
Yeah, you need that for sure. Kevin Cash trying to set a record for how big he could get that wad of bubble gum.
There's strike 2.
This has to be a first, and I'll say it is a first. That's 9 straight off-speed pitches by Chris Archer. That's never been done. I feel fairly confident in saying that.
2-2. And another one. Still 2 and 2 after the foul ball. All of this after the visit from Kyle Snyder.
Well, and I'm sure that had nothing. I mean, he may have said, hey, let's try this. Maybe do it. You know, who knows? But I guarantee you he didn't tell him, I want nothing but off speed from here on out.
That's pretty much what it's been here.
And it was all to Santander, too. Whatever that was, 5 or 6 pitch at bat.
And again. Well, the at bat to Santander, 5 pitches. We're now 6 pitches into this one.
He comes with a 95, 96 mile an hour heater here. Peterson may swing as you're rolling it back to the mound.
Two, and that was the fastball and didn't miss by much. So the count is full.
Well, they tried it, just not close enough to get the swing.
So now a full count. And ball 4. Back with a slider. So by our count, he's gone 13 pitches with 1 fastball to the last 2 hitters. Might actually be 13 of 14. But the point made.
Yeah, I mean, they're really, I don't think we've ever seen that. Chris Archer leans on that fastball and that slider too, especially to the right-handed hitters. Very few changeups during the course of a game, but between the slider and the changeup, it's been almost exclusive the last couple of hitters.
Runner breaks off first. Throw down is safe. The call, and the run's going to score. So Peterson takes off, and Cisco comes home on Sucre's throw down to second, and the game is tied.
Oh, yeah, aggressively going after Jace Peterson, and the Rays, Kevin Cash out there, we're going to maybe take a look at this. The throw, and as Joey Wendell gets there, and it's a little bit up and offline.
See Mark Carlson looking in on the call.
Yeah, and I don't, boy, it looked like, let's see, Peterson feet first, the tag. I don't know if there's enough there to overturn it. And it looked like that foot got to the bag about the time the tag was put on. The problem for the Rays is this call went the Orioles' way on the field. This is one of those got stands written all over it.
Yep.
But by virtue of Joey Wendell and his antics out there and catching that ball, that allowed Cisco to basically walk home. There was no way that he was going to be able to recover in time to make the throw.
So the Rays challenge it.
Hopefully they are looking at an angle that we haven't seen yet.
Well, the Orioles technically steal their way in to a tie. The call stands at second base. Now Peterson is in scoring position. So it's a tie game now. Peterson second. The 1-0 about to be made to Trey Mancini. 1-1.
And really, this is the last thing that you wanted to see. You know, that we talked about it earlier. You're given that 3-run lead in the top of the first inning. You've got your opening day starter on the mound. Now is the time to, you know, settle in, put together a nice deep outing, pick up a win, move on to game 2. And Baltimore's come back and tied it, and it didn't take them that long.
Ball, 2 strikes on Mancini. Well, the Rays, after that 3-run first, kind of back on their heels here in the second inning, as the Orioles have been aggressive at the plate and on the bases now. 2-2.
You know, and here's another at bat. Mancini's seen nothing but sliders. I mean, what's it now? It's got to be 16 out of 17 or 17 out of 18 pitches have been sliders or changeups. See, 1 fastball. That was the Jace Peterson.
Going 17 out of 18.
There you go. Maybe that was the message.
The right side out of play. We'll see another 2-2 pitch.
I've never seen a guy switch gears like this. You know, it's one thing to start to feature the off speed a little bit more. It's another thing to completely go away from the fastball and just go all off speed. Now for a good number of pitches.
Two again. Fastball is high and the count is full.
Almost like you're pitching these guys backwards. Off speed early, maybe try to surprise them with the fastball late just to get them off the game plan. We talked about the struggles against this team in this ballpark. Give them something to think about.
Down and away. He walked him on the slider. First and second with Adam Jones coming up. Adam Jones lined to center his first time. Baseball down. Sucre heads to the mound.
We've already had a visit from Kyle Snyder, so it's just a matter of Sucre giving a quick little blow to Chris Archer. You see him walking back to home plate now, giving him just a second.
Well, you see the pitch counts at 35, 28 here in this inning. A 7-pitch first, and now 28 in the second inning. Well,
and now you're starting to see a loss of feel for the strike zone. You know, as he's really kind of on the fly here, changed the way that he's been pitching. All of a sudden now you get a couple of walks, back-to-back walks, a 2-0 count here, and the misses weren't that close.
A big cut and a miss. A pitch down. 2-1.
Fortunate that you do have Adam Jones at the plate, and you throw enough of them, they don't have to be that close. He's going to swing the stick.
30-pitch inning in the second for Archer. High toward the left field line. Span will go over, give it a look, and it's going to carry out a play. 2-2. And he gets Jones to chase to retire the side. But 3-run score for Baltimore, and we're tied 3-3. Today's Geico flashback. It was on this day in 1985, a record 458 Major League games played at the start of the season before a contest was postponed due to bad weather. Brewers and the Indians game rained out in Cleveland. This year, 29 games have already been postponed. How about that? Now, the difference? That year, opening day was April 8th. And they went 29 in before they had a postponement. '29 postponed already. So they went a month and what, 4 days? 2-0 the count to Crone.
Yeah, no question, and we got to be a part of it on our first road trip. You just ran into some crazy, awful weather patterns, you know, the first couple of weeks of April, and those postponements started to mount quickly. I will say this though, I've too much. Maybe I drove too much in April, but too much talk radio discussing and breaking this down.
Yeah.
That I felt like Kevin Cash looked last half inning. I'm just done. Just bring the bucket over here. We got something for you.
Ground ball towards short from the outfield, and the throw by Machado. Scope hit the deck to get out of the way. And that's good thinking.
Yeah, Dwayne, I love it. I mean, listen, Machado, we know the kind of arm that we've seen the throws that he's made from all different angles over at third base. So if he's about to wheel and throw, you had better hit the turf. Look at that. Just spin and throw a bullet right on the money.
Yeah, and Scoping over and shook his hand afterwards. Said, thanks for not beating me. Joey Wendell. Breaking ball down and in.
Well,
Braves are facing David Hess.
Going back to your weather thing,
yeah.
And I'm gonna let it go because I'm just gonna check out from here on. If you want to go, you go. But the first road trip for the Rays, 3 cities, snow in each one.
Yep.
And what are the chances of that? I don't care if it is early April.
Well, the Rays opened the season on March the 29th. That's headed toward the middle, and beneath the glove of Scope, a backhanded attempt, and Wendell is 2 for 2. Well, the Rays trying to build something here and reclaim the lead. They led 3-0. It's now tied 3-3. And Matt Duffy, who hit the home run in the first, will be up now. There you go. A little snow from Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
The Rays trying to start the road part of their schedule that day. Didn't work out.
Did not work out. Got that game, but they had the built-in off day the next day. Got that in. It was nice when we woke up in Chicago, and I woke up to a text from our producer, Kevin Patterson, of a snowman that had been built behind home plate in Chicago with the White Sox hat on.
Yep.
Thought maybe we're not going to play today either, but we did, thanks to the sod father.
Yes. A great job of scraping that snow away, and we got that game in. Strike to Duffy. Duffy now with 12 runs batted in. A couple of home runs now. Duffy came into the game hitting over 350 off right-handed pitching and homered on the first pitch he saw today.
And he's very quietly put together a nice stretch here. You know, finally back out on the field each and every day.
2 hits in last night's game. Finished the homestand with a couple of hits in that last game and a walk. Now the 3-run home run, first time up in this one.
And he's done a nice job. of that strike zone discipline too. You know, trying to keep his swings to pitches within the zone, doing a better job of not chasing. Not to say that you never will, but he's been good at not going outside the zone, making the pitcher try to beat him over the plate. That's not easy to do. You're not going to beat him there out over the plate. Right into his wheelhouse. That gave the Rays that early 3-0 lead that thus far they've coughed up.
Close right there. Baseball away at 95, and it's 2-2.
You know, and then how do you not swing at that? I mean, that's not that far off the plate. You know you got 2 strikes on you, but he reads that out of the hand and says, you know what, no, that's off the plate. And he's right.
It's fouled right back over the screen. Three ball game. He's trying to snap this 4-game slide. Rays pulled to within a game of 500, only to drop 4 straight. And again, a move, and back in is Wendell. Sparger, the umpire at first today. Mark Carlson second, and Brian Knight down at third, with Jerry Davis, the crew chief, the plate umpire. Runner takes off, and there will be no throw. Duffy took ball 3 in, and a stolen base for Wendell, his 3rd of the year in 4 attempts.
We're going to run on the fastball. Let's see what the issue is here. Maybe, you know, that could be where Cisco just did not have a good grip on the baseball. And see him pop out of there and see if you can tell anything. It looks like he wants to throw. Maybe had slider grip, split grip.
So Wendell steals his way into scoring position for Duffy. Puts it on the ground. Machado will make the throw to first. Had to move to his left, and that allows Wendell to move to third. 2 outs with a runner at third base. Well, Brad Miller, who singled went after the first pitch he saw in the first. Breaking ball, and he gets that one in for a strike. Dropping the curveball over. There's a shot back into deep right. Santander to the wall, and he makes the catch. Just a little short off the bat of Brad Miller to retire the side. Bottom of the 3rd coming, 3-3. inside look on Manny Machado, who's going to lead it off. Machado just 25 years old, and boy, he is tearing it up when you look at all the major offensive categories. First, second, or third in all of those. 35 runs batted in, tops there. Drives this one into center field. Alex Smith goes to the wall, and it's gone. Machado on the first pitch delivered here in the bottom of the third from Archer. Hits his 13th home run of the year. He's now 6 of 13 in his career against Archer. And it's 4-3 Baltimore.
Well, these guys just not getting off that fastball, looking for something good to hit early in the count. We talked about all the off speed that Archer went with to basically finish off the second inning. And here in the third, here's that first pitch fastball, but it is where Machado can get extension. That ball is away, but it is elevated, and you're not going to sneak many of those by him.
Now a shot off the bat at Scope, and that one's going to get out on the first two pitches in the bottom of the third. Archer gives up home runs to Machado and Scope. Scope has seen 2 pitches and hit them both out.
How about this, Dwayne? Coming into this ball game, Chris Archer had given up 2 home runs on the first pitch of an at-bat. 3 times today. 3 times today. Wow.
Well, now it's 5-3. Chris Davis. He taps it fair just inside the foul line. Miller to Archer. It's the first out. We're 3 pitches into the bottom of the third. And 2 runs have scored with 1 out.
Well, first pitch slider, and that one, you talk about a hanger right in the middle of the plate. Scope took a fastball out, up and in, and these guys loving every minute of it.
Mark Trumbo. It's a pitch low.
You know, when you see guys doing that, I mean, just clowning and having a great time, you know, back footing you on the first pitch. And I know they don't do it anymore, but how about move somebody? How about knock someone right off the plate?
There's a strike, 1-1.
That's the way you used to handle that.
Yeah, that tended to put a stop to some of that.
A little bit. Or just serve notice. This is my plate. Enough. Enough.
Yeah, you're not trying to hurt anybody. You're trying to keep them honest. Fly ball center field. And Alex Smith waiting for that one to come down. Finally does for the second out.
That's just something that, and it's nothing that you're targeting Chris Archer with. It in general around the game, you don't see that anymore. You know, you see guys go through tough stretches where it looks like every hitter is so comfortable, and they're just up there buggy whipping everything, and no one gets their feet moved, no one gets pushed off the plate. Can make it tough to pitch.
So 5 hits, 3 home runs, a double, and a base hit. Chance Cisco at the plate. This ball is too high. One. 2-1. Archer had given up 6 home runs over 8 starts coming into this game, and 3 home runs in under 3 innings in this one. 2-2 count. And the count's going to be full on Cisco. One hop, and that's a big stop there by Echeverria, playing up the middle. Nicely done. 6-3 on the out at first. 2 runs on a home run by Machado and 1 followed by Jonathan Scope. The Orioles have taken a 5-3 lead through 3. Go to the 4th inning. The new Rays Flex Pack has been released and features a limited time low price of $75 for 5 lower level tickets. Save up to 60% off the single game ticket price. Get a Devil Rays pullover presented by Dex Imaging with each pack purchased. Visit RaysBaseball.com/flex. Rays up. First pitch, Echeverria lifts a fly ball toward right center. Santander shading his eyes at the track, makes the catch on that one.
And didn't look too sure. Thought there maybe that was going to be some trouble for the Oriole outfield, but able to track it down into the glove. Once he goes back, you start to wonder. That's glasses and glove.
Now Malik Smith. Now the Rays led 3-0. Now trail 5-3. 5 unanswered runs so far. That's a ball to Malik's. Rays are facing David Hess, young man out of Tullahoma, Tennessee. 2-0. Went to school at Tennessee Tech. Drafted in June of 2014. Fly ball, not overly deep to left for Mancini. 2 up, 2 down. Hess majored in biomolecular chemical engineering at Tennessee Tech.
So he's smart.
That'll give you some insight.
Yeah. Not that. biomolecular, what was that?
Chemical engineering. You can break it all down.
Oh, boy.
Any way you want.
Yeah.
Now Gomez sends a fly ball to center field. Jones waiting for this one. And a quick inning. It's 5 pitches, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-3 Baltimore.
Lead the Rays 5-3. Well, after Rays Live, the post-game show after Game 2 tonight, it is an all-new episode of Inside the Rays. This time highlighting prospects. There are 4 prospects in particular that we get an in-depth look at. Make sure you tune in for a glimpse into the Rays' future. Again, tonight after Game 2's post-game show. Guys?
All right, brand new edition of Inside the Rays. Here we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Archer touched by the long ball here in this one so far. Rays had a 3-0 lead, now trail 5-3, and there's a first pitch strike into Anthony Santander. Jace Peterson next, the 8 and 9 hitters, and then back around to the top side to Trey Mancini. One and one. Ground ball, and Echeverria from short right field will take care of that one. So there you go, the first out here heading into the shift. Well, a little spotlight here on the Rays minor league player of the week. Brandon Lau at Montgomery this week, 5 of 15 with a couple doubles and an on-base percentage of .545. He was the Florida State MVP last year, now playing at the AA level. Peterson fouls it away, strike one. Upstairs. 1-1 to count. Out front. 1-2. Well, Archer has had his difficulties here in this ballpark. This is his 8th career start, 9th appearance overall. 2-5, trailing in this game. His ERA coming in was .670 against the Orioles here. And a very long second inning, 32 pitches. The other two have been relatively brief, although the 2 runs to give the Orioles this 5-3 lead scored in the third, but that was a couple of quick strikes on the first 2 pitches of the inning. Home runs by Machado and Scope. And he strikes out Peterson. So out number 2 and strikeout number 2 of the game for Archer.
Well, you certainly are hoping for the Rays offense to be able to come back and bail him out. But you know, this is one of those games where you've lost 4 in a row. You've got a doubleheader. You get 3 quick runs in the top of the first inning, and you're handing the ball to the guy you hand to start the season off, and expecting something a little better than this.
There by Echeverria, and he gets his man over at first. It wasn't that simple, but he made the play, as he so often does. 5-3 Baltimore. Brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers and by your local Ford dealers. Rays in Baltimore near the Inner Harbor at Orioles Park. Moving on to the 5th in game 1 of the doubleheader today. Sucre goes after the first pitch, popping it into foul territory, and that is Chris Davis using that big first baseman's mitt, making the catch, and then dropping by the dugout to say hi to his teammates.
He had all that momentum going. Chance Sisco not going to be able to get to it. He sees Chris Davis coming down the way. He's going to allow him to make the catch, and there you go, right down the steps.
Top of the order for the Rays now. Here's Denard Span. So the Rays, who struck early with 3 in the first, will get the 3rd look here now at David Hess. He starts the 3rd time through the lineup. Span shortens and takes the pitch for strike 1.
And this is where you want this lineup to start to make a little bit of hay. Like you said, 3rd time through, your 3rd look. You know, you're getting to the point where Buck Showalter gets another few outs out of him. He'll be looking to go to that bullpen.
It's headed toward the corner. That ball's a foul ball, however. It would have been interesting to rattle around had it been fair. But a souvenir, as it turns out.
Yeah, this has been a clunker of a day, but you look up and say, hey, you're talking about a bloop and a blast. You're only down 2 runs. got plenty of offense. Enough outs left to play with. Top of the order up here.
Well, they've allowed Hess to kind of settle in. He's retired 12 of the last 13. Tapper to third. Scoop by Peterson, and the throw is in time. 2 gone.
That's a nice play. Yeah, that's one of those tricky hops where Peterson gets the glove out way in front of the body to get that short hop. Have to charge this. Well, these guys, they make this look so easy.
Yeah, that's one of those pretty plays by a third baseman, and Hess, the starting pitcher, appreciates the effort. Strike call to Chrome. One and one. Skied foul, out of play. Crone had a base hit in the first inning. The first of 4 consecutive hits for the Rays. They've had just 1 since then. So Crone 1 of 2. It's fouled into the upper deck, and back down it's going to come. Look out.
You got to be ready for the rebounds. That guy just missed getting plunked.
It's always good advice.
Right.
1-2 into the dirt. 2-2.
It's not quite on the level of Jimmy Dugan.
That's right.
But it's close.
Close. Joey Wendell will be next if the Rays can get a base runner aboard. Ground ball on the shortstop side of second. Scope scoops and throws. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. They trail 5-3. Saw a 3-run lead disappear as he goes to work in the bottom of the 5th. MLB At Bat, your #1 Rays app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rays home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Here's Adam Jones taking a pitch. 1-0. Jones is lined to center and struck out. One of a couple strikeouts posted by Archer. 1-1. Kevin Kiermaier on this trip with the Rays and delivering a souvenir.
Left-handed grenade out of the dugout.
Yeah, he just he wanted to be with the team.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yep. And at least, you know, he can come out here and during batting practice track balls.
He's hit to right off the fastball. Jones is aboard. Look at Kiermaier yesterday.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for this. You know, to be able to take balls off the bat, to have fungos hit to you, you can at least track them down, catch them, get back into baseball movements. Probably not allowed to do that. We probably shouldn't have shown that.
Well, you can't help it.
No, you can't. Got to be just maddening. Third straight season.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating part, I think, for him, to have it happen again. 1-0 the count to Manny Machado. Well, you know, you think about the Rays losing Kiermaier for all this time and what's happened to the pitching in terms of injury. I thought they'd have a couple more starters available than they've had. Lifted into right for Gomez. Will be out number 1. 1 on, 1 out. The Rays hopeful of getting some of those pieces back and in the lineup, in the rotation, and see what they actually have. Jonathan Scope, a 2-home run day. He's seen 2 pitches and has hit both of them out. 1-0.
That's one way to prevent a third pitch being hit out. Just bounce it. No, but you're right. When you think about, you know, Kiermaier in center field, Nathan Eovaldi, that was a tough, tough injury at the end of spring training, and you know he's been on the comeback trail. Get some of these guys back out there. That caused that pitching staff to go right into flux, right out of the gate.
Ground ball back to third. Great stop by Duffy. Throw to second. They just got Adam Jones, and Jones doesn't necessarily believe the call. There was some stop by Duffy down at third. Take another look and see what you think.
We're making a bid for extra bases, and that is close. Is it close enough? Let's see. Yeah, I think he's out. I think that's got stands if they decide to take a look at it.
And Buck Showalter says, forget about it.
Yeah, nothing definitive at all.
So Wendell on the receiving end of the throw from Duffy. That turned out to be quite a play by Matt Duffy at third base.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, that ball was headed into the corner. That, you talk about the Orioles having a chance to blow this thing open now.
Scopes at first with 2 outs. Here's Chris Davis. Upstairs twice Davis has hit the ball on the ground to Miller at first base.
You got to believe it. And the changeup.
And a big cut and a miss on it.
So difficult for him to stay back. You know, he's got the kind of power that foul pole to foul pole. But too often, you know, becomes a little too pull heavy.
Fastball fouled back. One ball, 2 strikes here. 1 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. And he missed a little wide there.
I was thinking changeup right here after that fastball. He fouled off, go back to the changeup, down and away. He goes to the backdoor slider with a little hippity hop.
Ground ball to first again. Miller unassisted. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We're through 5. We go to the 6th with Wendell due to lead off. 5-3. Loaded a 3-run first inning home run to give the Rays the early lead, but it didn't last long. Jonathan Scope on the first pitch in the second hit 1 out. He went on to score 2 more in that inning. Then in the 3rd, Manny Machado hit the first pitch he saw to give the Orioles the lead, and Jonathan Scope again hit the first pitch of the at-bat. 2 pitches back-to-back home runs in the 3rd. Has made it a 5-3 game and set to move into the 6th. Joey Wendell 2 for 2. Fouls the first one, strike 1. Duffy next, and then Brad Miller. Starting to get some action in the bullpen there. And the hard-throwing left-hander, Scott, up. There's a liner into center, and Wendell is 3 for 3. Leadoff base hit.
All 3 hits for Joey Wendell right back up the middle. 2 on the ground. That a nice line drive. Leadoff man aboard. The Rays have been kind of quiet here offensively since that first inning. Don't you like having a leadoff guy on first base? Got some speed.
Well, Matt Duffy is the hitter over to first, and Wendell is back in. It's a ball. outside the first base line, down in front of Ozzie Timmons and beyond. One and two with that foul ball.
Boy, Duffy got a pitch there that looked like that fastball had a little cut to it. Middle in, and he tried to turn and burn on it. Big swing. That did have some cut action to it, 90 miles an hour. You can see that side spin. I'm not sure that was on purpose.
Wave and a miss. Duffy out on strikes.
You don't see that very often, too, as Matt Duffy has shown pretty good plate discipline, especially when you look over the last week and a half, 2 weeks for him. But going after that slider, and I think because he saw that pitch up, he wanted to go after it as it just ended up off the plate.
Well, now Brad Miller. Pitch is a strike. Miller 1 for 2. Singled in the first. Hit the ball to the warning track in right field in the third inning. And under this one, skies it to right. Santander waiting now. 2 gone. Well, Miller disappointed to get under that one and sky it to shallow right.
Well, it was a good pitch made by Hess. You know, he went with a changeup away for strike one, then a fastball up and in there to get the pop up into right. And I'll tell you, you got to talk a little bit about the way that he's been able to settle down. 3 of the first 4 hitters he faces in his major league debut score, and that's been it.
Now he has walked no one. In fact, we've had only 1 walk in this game. Had only 2 walks in last night's game. You know, there's a game last night. 25 hits, 13 runs, took 2 hours and 36 minutes. Only 2 walks in the entire game.
Yeah, those are killers.
Strike 1. Echeverria missing that first pitch. Well, last night they had Brian Knight behind the plate with a little bigger strike zone. Everybody knew it. Played the game.
Yeah.
Everything was fine.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we've seen more of that here in the last week, and it just could be the luck of the draw. You know, bigger strike zones and guys that are looking to call strikes as opposed to having them forced on them. But it does serve notice. And both dugouts understand this guy's up there. He is looking to call strikes, so be ready to swing the bat. That's why you take it up there in the first place. I mean, when I go out to bird sanctuaries to get a good look at different species of birds, I don't carry a bat with me.
Over to first, runner back in. That was close.
I take a bat to one of those places. I'm taking swings at these birds.
Is that why you don't go to bird sanctuaries so often?
I was a first pitch hacker. That's why my OBP was terrible. Whatever my average was, that was my on base.
There you go. Little tap foul. I'm just concerned about the birds.
Don't worry about the birds. You won't see me there.
Okay. Wendell at first, 2 gone. Back in at first. Yeah, that's not a good visual image. Brian Anderson with the bat in his hand at the bird sanctuary.
No,
So we'll just straighten things away right now and say that he never went there. with a bat and never went there to begin with.
Well,
just a figure of speech to make a point.
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't even get out of the parking lot. It was already stopped.
Maria fouls it back, so it's still 2 strikes. Peace-loving man.
Pair of binoculars, sure.
Friend of all creation. Well, of course, binoculars.
Yes.
And standard issue.
But you don't take those to the plate. You take a bat, so be ready to swing it.
Ground ball, third base. Peterson makes his throw. The Rays get a base hit to lead it off. Leave the man. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 5-3 Baltimore. For Heroes, and today we spotlight Baltimore right-hander Darren O'Day and his charities. O'Day on the disabled list with a hyperextended right elbow, so the Rays will not be seeing him out of the Baltimore bullpen, and he is a different look out there. Mark Trumbo takes the first pitch from Archer. It's upstairs. Well, Archer 73 pitches through 5 and a pitch into the 6th. Popped up, foul. Will carry out a play. Sucre over there just in case. And it's about 2 rows back and a big hop deeper into the seats. Fouled straight back. Trumbo homered last night. He led off the 7th inning with a home run. His first of the year. Two. Trumbo just off the disabled list here, coming off in early May. The tap foul into the Rays dugout. Cisco next, and then Santander. Cisco on deck. He's been a bit of a thorn in the Rays' side with his bat.
You're right, and you know he's shown power all over the field. A couple of home runs, had a big double in today's game. Looks a little smoked.
That's headed toward the track, left center, and it's going to be a double by the time Smith gets over there and gets it back toward the infield. So Trumbo is 2 for 3. Leadoff double, so an instant scoring threat here by Baltimore.
Well, was able to work the at-bat. They want this pitch away. Look where it ended up. You saw where Sucre is set up and wanting that ball, and you miss your location. Trumbo is quick enough in there to get the barrel to the baseball. And you're right about Cisco. You know, he has shown the ability to have some pretty good strike discipline that not many guys in this Orioles lineup do. And he's also shown some power and extra base ability too.
Double and a run scored today, and a ground ball to the right side, grabbed by Wendell. The throw to first, and that moves Trumbo over to third base. Cisco advances a runner with the ground ball to the right side. Well, Cisco, credit for a steal of home in the second inning. First Oriole to steal home for his first career stolen base since Cal Ripken Jr. on the last day of May in '82.
First of all, long time and pretty good name to be associated with around these parts.
And great work for the guys in the truck digging that one out.
They don't take a day off or a game.
One ball, no strikes to Santander. This one gets through Sucre and down the line from third. Safe is Trumbo. Turns out to be a gift run for Baltimore, and it's now 6-3.
Boy, it looked like a changeup that got right down, obviously through the 5-hole. And just how it got through that little gap. Sucre gets the glove around, just not quite in time, and here comes Trumbo.
Yeah, and you know he's coming. You don't have to look. 2-0 the count now on Santander. Now a bunt picked up by Sucre. Throw to first in time down to Miller to get Santander.
Well, that was a nice play because Archer coming off the mound and Sucre coming out from behind home plate. It looked like maybe a little bit of indecision off the bat, and you can't afford that on a play that's going to be bang bang. But Sucre, Santander, he just says, get out of my way, and a bullet just in time.
Jace Peterson. Pitch is a strike. Base is empty, 2 outs. Peterson, part of the double steal when Cisco scored in the second inning. It's now 1-1. Into the dirt, 2-1. You're going to the wild pitch on the run scoring. A pass ball. They apparently are debating it in the press box in terms of how to score that.
Wow. I mean, you know, that's a
close call either way.
It is, and it's a pitch that you expect. You know, Jesus Sucre, we know how good of a catcher he is. You expect him to block that, but at the same time, it's a changeup in that nasty zone where it's just getting to the dirt with that late finish just as you're getting the glove turned around, and it's in the dirt. I think by virtue of dirt, you got to go wild pitch.
Rule of thumb, if it's in the dirt, it's a wild pitch, but that was one that deserves some conversation. Fastball is popped into shallow left. Denard Span makes the catch. A run scores, nobody left. And now it's 6-3 Baltimore.
continue to lead this game 6-3, and you really have to doff your hat at the job that David Hess was able to do. That 3-run homer in the first inning, 3 of the first 4 Rays to come to the plate scored. Guess what? That would be it. He really started to find good parts of the strike zone, was able to expand when he needed to, got some quick early in the count outs, used his defense, and ends up going 6 innings, giving up just those 3 runs, didn't hurt himself with the walk. And David Hess, I'll tell you, four hitters in, you got to be saying, really? So this is big league baseball? And then an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you're saying, yeah, I got this.
You know, he made 19 pitches in the first inning and wound up throwing 6 innings and 77 pitches.
Yeah, how about that for efficiency? Well, you don't walk anybody.
Yep.
You get a team swinging the bat aggressively and get some quick outs.
Now they put it in the hands of the lefty Tanner Scott. He's a hard thrower. 1-0 the count to Malik Smith. Bunt attempt is popped foul back over the screen. 1-1. So Hess gone after 6, and now Malik Smith, Carlos Gomez, and Jesus Sucre due up in the 7th against Scott. Two.
Well, Tanner Scott is able to be in the strike zone. He is a tough lefty to face. He's got the big time velocity. You just saw the sweep on the slider. There's plenty to like, provided he can give you consistent strikes.
2-2. Well, they had him spend most of the year at AA last year. He made 24 starts, but they limited his starts to just 3 innings. So he made 24 starts and threw 69 innings. Still 2-2 with that foul ball. Smith has struck out, hit a fly ball to left. Now a full count.
Well, that's what we're talking about. You know, that pitch, they want the fastball in, and Tanner Scott with the big arm lets out 97, but that ball is way down and away, and that's what you just don't know what you're going to get from outing to outing as far as command goes.
Ground ball to first, right down to Chris Davis. And Smith is the first out. Visit a local participating 7-Eleven store and pick up a Rays discount coupon for $7.11 tickets to a game Friday, May 25th against the Orioles. Keep saving with $5 Budweiser and Bud Lights exclusively on the Budweiser porch. Ages 21 and over. Please drink responsibly. Big cut. Carlos Gomez almost lost the helmet.
He sold out for that heater, and what he got was an 88-mile-an-hour slider down and in.
Oh, 2. Try it again.
Well, that was just a carbon copy is all that was, and those were 2 well executed pitches. And when you see that pitch coming in towards you as a righty, you're thinking you've got to be quick because of the velo, and all of a sudden it's a breaking ball.
And a tapper foul. Scott made 8 scoreless relief appearances this year at AAA Norfolk. Now with the Orioles, made his Orioles debut this year, his 18 debut in the first week of April. A ball, 2 strikes. Made a couple appearances last year for the Baltimore Orioles, and now is in relief of David Hess. Big swing and a miss by Gomez. 2 up, 2 down. Well, the Rays have been relatively quiet since that first inning when they struck quickly. Rays on the day have 6 hits. 4 of those came in the first.
He threw 3 perfect back foot sliders in that sequence of pitches.
Now a fastball at 97 to start Sucre.
And you can see this guy, if you can start to count on him for consistent strikes, it's kind of like what the Rays went through with Jose Alvarado. And now you can bring him in and you know he's going to fill up that strike zone and he can just flat out dominate you from the left side. Both of these guys similar.
Well, that was, I think, their idea, and one of the reasons they limited his starts. They wanted him to get work, but develop command of those pitches to repeat the delivery and the result on the home plate end of those pitches.
Now, and that's a smart way to go about it. You know, you can't always in those games down in the minor leagues bring a guy in to pitch 6, 7, and 8. You know, so you start him.
Yeah.
You limit the innings. He ended up with the perfect amount of innings for the season for what they were trying to accomplish. Close.
2-2. Scott in relief of Hess. Just a little piece of the fastball to earn another pitch.
And that's the thing you want too. The fact that you give him those 3 innings or so, you let him repeat. You let him, you know, go out there and face a number of hitters. You know, if he's going to be a 1-inning guy, and that's what you're doing down there, well, you could have a guy just free swinging at everything, and you're not developing much at all.
Sky to center field. Jones back after it, is there and makes the catch. A 1-2-3-7. 6-3 Baltimore. to the mound in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Not what Archer had in mind, I think, at this point.
No, and he got jumped 3 different times. There was Jonathan Scope with number 1 and Manny Machado going after a fastball where he was able to get his arms extended, get that out to deep center field. And the very next pitch, Jonathan Scope gets a hanging slider in the middle of the plate, able to drive it out. And what was an early 3-0 Rays lead was erased rather quickly, and then all of a sudden they take the lead 5-3 on those last 2 home runs. They've extended the lead to now 6-3.
Yeah,
and
look at that pitch breakout.
Yeah, well, and what really jumps out at you is that changeup, and you'll remember, you go back to that visit by Kyle Snyder early in the game, and then after that it was, 17 out of 18, 18 out of 19 were sliders or changeups, and that's where the usage of that pitch really started to ramp up. He's thrown the vast majority of the changeups, if not all of them, to the left-handed hitters.
Well, his career high in changeups in any one outing, 26. So he's thrown 24 today. I mean, that's been close to an even distribution of his pitches. Boy, they did jump him for 3 runs in the 2nd and a couple more in the 3rd. So we go to the 7th with the Rays down 6-3. Trey Mancini, the top of the order. 1-0 to Mancini, who has a walk to show for 3 plate appearances and a couple ground balls handled by Echeverria. 1-1. Ryan Stanek is up in the bullpen. Ball 2 strikes. One would think with that pitch breakout there that the point has been made about using the off speed more and integrating that into Archer's game, because he has been pretty much 2-dimensional. He gets a strikeout here. So going forward, it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
It will, because there are times that you and I have thought the same thing, and then all of a sudden the next start you won't see the changeup. And the vast majority, like I said, maybe all of the changeups were against left-handed hitters. And when you look at the breakout for him, this season between left and right, left-handers have had their way with him. They came into this ball game with a .341 average, so it would make sense to give them something else to think about. Right-handers, he's still probably going to be majority fastball slider. But, that will be something to keep an eye on, because there's no question that there was a shifting of the gears today early in this ball game.
A 1-0 count to Adam Jones.
That was a changeup right there that just ran up and in, but he tried to go with it.
Well, you have to think if he could add that to the mix in a significant way, it would do nothing but help him. Now he's behind 3-0. Manny Machado on deck. And ball 4. Jones waiting to make sure. Second walk given up by Archer today. Actually, that's going to be the 3rd, I believe. And so Manny Machado walks to the plate. Machado with another home run. Came to lead off the 3rd. Upstairs. It's popped up in foul territory for Duffy, coming over toward the dugout from third. And Machado is retired. And another challenge now with Jonathan Scope, who has hit 2 home runs today. He has 5 career home runs. 5 of his 12 hits off Archer have been home runs for his career.
Yeah, that is a fastball up and in, and a spinning slider right in the middle of the plate.
He bats again. 4th plate appearance for Scope. With Jones at first, 2 outs in the 7th. Fouled out of play. The Archer at 99 pitches right now. Only 97 in his last outing, and no decision against Toronto. 0-2. First game of the doubleheader. And the Rays with a couple shots left, down by 3 runs. A wave and a miss. That takes care of Scope. No runs with a man left. We're through 7. 6-3 Baltimore. Fox Sports Sun brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by your local Honda dealer. Oriole Park, Camden Yards, game 1 of this doubleheader today. Tanner Scott on the mound, and Rob Refsnyder is the pinch-a-penny pinch hitter, batting for Denard Span. The right-handed bat up here against the lefty.
Well, this is Kevin Cash pulling out all the stops to try to get some offense going, with Tanner Scott thinking that he against Denard Span is a bad matchup. Running out of outs.
Ground ball to second, right to Scope. Snyder is retired. Now the right-handed hitting C.J. Cron will get a look at Scott. Cron singled and scored in the first. There's a hot shot. That ball's going to get past Scope into left center field. Hard hit ball by C.J. Crone, picking up his second hit. Boy, that's too hot to handle.
Yeah, you're in self-defense mode, and you put up the backhand, and you're hoping the ball goes into your glove. .113.2 off the bat on that shot hit by Crone. So he's aboard with one out, and the Rays will call upon Daniel Robertson to hit in the place of Joey Wendell, who was 3 for 3 against the right-hander Hess. First game of the doubleheader, another game to go after this one, and tomorrow on Rays Live, pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers. Major League Baseball will celebrate Mother's Day and another Kids Sunday demo. Robertson announced, and as he is announced as the pinch hitter, Buck Showalter appears out of the dugout. So a call to the bullpen, now brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Your chance to play for the massive Powerball jackpot. Pick your lucky numbers and get your Powerball ticket at any Florida Lottery retailer. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Chris Archer in the Rays dugout along with the Rays pitching coach Kyle Snyder. 6 runs allowed today by Archer. 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and another run in the 6th inning. One pitches on the day for Archer. And the Rays, in the meantime, with Michael Gibbons entering the game, man out of Tampa, the third pitcher of the day for Baltimore. He's on to face Daniel Robertson. The pitch is a strike. Well, you know what's interesting about all that footage down there, Kyle Snyder and Chris Archer, was when it was starting, you could see Kyle Snyder reach his right hand out with the changeup grip. So they were talking about that pitch. Obviously, it played a huge role in today's game. Be interesting to hear what that was all about. Like the front side shoulder. Okay, right there. That's changeup. He's talking about that pitch.
Foul back, a fastball, 96 from Gibbons. Gibbons originally an infielder. Started his career in the Baltimore organization. High fly ball into right. Santander is there. That'll be the second out of the inning. 2 outs with Crone still at first. And Matt Duffy comes on to face Givens. Givens was a second-round pick in the '09 draft. He was an infielder and then began to pitch in the 2013 season. Pitch inside, 1-0. You know, when you think about it, it didn't take him long as a pitcher to get to the major leagues. He spent the 13-14 season, part of the 15 season in the minors before he got to the big leagues. Ground ball deep in the hole and off the glove of Machado into left. Crone's going to head to third. He'll beat that throw in. That'll be a base hit for Duffy. And the Rays will have men at first and third.
All right, that gets the tying run to the plate. So that's really all you can ask for. Late chances. You have one here. This 5-6 hole well placed. I think even if Machado comes up with that, not going to be a real play to be made. A chance to run into one here and tie this thing up.
Well, Brad Miller has the power to do it.
Sure.
1 for 3 on the afternoon. Pitch away. Ball, no strikes. Brad with 3 home runs on the year. And he misses the fastball. 1-1. Miller 1 of 5 against Givens. And sends a fly ball toward right center. Jones closing is there, reaching down to make the catch on the run. Oh, he made that catch low on the horizon and held on to it. Bottom of the 8th coming, still 6-3 Baltimore.
Well, the Rays trying to make a bid in the top of the 8th inning as they continue to trail this game 6-3. But Adam Jones, I'm going to tell you something. You get a ball that's hit this high, he comes this far, your Bonefish Grill fresh catch of the game below the knees. I mean, the degree of difficulty of that catch. You know, a line drive you can track and get that back. A ball hit that high, running that far, and you're making that catch as you're reaching for it last second below the knees, shin high. What a play.
Well, changes for the Rays. Ryan Stanek is now in the game on the mound. Defensively, Robertson takes over at second. Ref Snyder in left. And the pitch to Chris Davis is foul back. Strike one. Into the dirt, 1-1. Two. Standy was in the game last night, came in with the bases loaded. Struck out Mancini and Jones, and then gave up the grand slam to Manny Machado before getting scope on a fly ball. Two and two. So Archer worked 7, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, struck out 4 and walked 3. 3 home runs, charged with a wild pitch. 62 strikes and 101 pitches. And now Davis with a full count. And Trumbo is on deck. Little tap out in front of the plate. Stanek with the throw to first, and reaching in is Miller to complete that out. A little reach in there with that mitt and then get it out of there. Well, game 2 coming up immediately following the conclusion of this one. 30 minutes in between. The post game will be coming your way. Matt Andrees and Alex Cobb, and then tomorrow Blake Snell and Dylan Bundy. Up and away with that one. Trumbo with 2 hits today and 2 runs scored. He homered last night. Skies it to right. Gomez on the track and makes the catch in front of the scoreboard. Two up and 2 down. Chance Cisco. Fastball at 99, too high. Double and a run scored and a run batted in for Cisco today. Otherwise, a couple ground balls. On the bottom of the 8th, the Rays have 1 shot left and they're down by 3. Stanek powers this one by Cisco. 1-1. Stanek not happy with himself after giving up the home run to Machado last night. Relievers hate to give up those inherited runs. 2-1.
And the only saving grace is, you know, you have the ability to come back the very next day. You don't have to sit on that outing for very long, and so he gets the opportunity to come back out, get back to feeling good on the mound. Big power fastball, a much improved slider. Seen some changeups from him.
And he misses low. 3-1. powers that one in there at 98. Cisco fouled it to run the count to 3-2. And a cut and a miss. Fastball 99 right by him. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the ninth. The Rays are down by 3. Rays have some work to do here in the ninth inning as they face Michael Gibbons. Gibbons finished out the 8th, and now in the 9th, it's Echeverria to lead off against the hard-throwing right-hander. Mid-90s fastball is in there for strike 1. Craig Gentry takes over in left for Mancini. Defensive move there by Buck Showalter. Echeverria swings through a fastball.
Well, Dwayne, you were talking about the quick rise of Gibbons as a pitcher. When you look at the stuff, the arm angle, the velocity on the fastball, sweep the slider, little deception on the little Louis Tiant turn.
And he strikes out Echeverria, hitting 98.
3 different fastballs, 3 different locations. Fastball down, he went to 96 middle up, and then went to 98 away and right on the edge.
Well, you know, you look at his development as a pitcher. 42 innings, a little over 33, then 25, then 57, and he's in the big leagues. That's a converted infielder to a pitcher. So he made quick progress indeed. Alex Smith lines one into center, caught by Jones. 2 up and 2 down. So the Rays down to their final out. Boy, when you think of the way this one started and where we are now, disappointing for the Rays here after jumping to a 3-0 lead, and the Orioles scoring 6 unanswered runs. Pitch low and away, 1-0. Turn and the delivery, 2-0. Doing 1. Rays Had a 3-run, 4-hit first. Now it's 3-1.
Well, last gasp, base runner. You need one of those, need 2 of those by any means necessary.
Sucre on deck. Gomez fouls it back, and it's 3-2.
Gomez right there, you can see the body language. Like to have that pitch back to take a swing at 97, but it was right down the middle in a 3-1 count.
Now 3-2. Sky to the right side, and that's headed for the seats. And the Rays, after the 3-run, 4-hit first, had 4 singles scattered throughout the rest of the contest. Back to the mound. Gibbons with a toss to first, and this one is over. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays in the 9th. Rays have dropped 5 in a row. The Orioles have won 4 straight. And it's a 6-3 final. Hess the winner, Archer the loser. For Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast of Not the Out.